Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It is my favorite time of year and it also comes with a prepper's benefit. You're probably aware guys that every December, just the week before Christmas, supermarkets bring their vegetables down to pretty much pennies. If you're like myself, unfortunately, and do not have a local farm shop or able to buy any of the fresh fruits like that locally, then supermarkets, unfortunately, is the only way forward. But as well, guys, at the same time, when we are talking about the emergency preparedness and the pantry preparedness, those kind of deals and those kind of prices are absolutely unmissable. So a few of you have emailed and said, actually, probably a good idea to do a video and answer some of the questions. And to be fair, I think it's probably rightly so, because I keep hearing people when I go in shopping and see vegetables there, they keep sort of asking themselves the questions whether it's okay to buy your vegetables now because, there's 5 days till Christmas, what's going to happen with those veg and that kind of thing. And then many of you also then asking, well, actually, how can we make the best use of those good prices to be able to store those vegetables and do something else with them? So first of all, guys, let's actually cover the supermarkets. Apparently, all supermarkets are doing the deal. However, the price on the veg, it's quite different. And I think they're playing a little bit of the war on the veg there. Tesco's and Morrison's, I believe, they launched their deals prices first, which was yesterday. Tesco's vegetables are 15p. I believe Morrison's are 10p. However, today, Asda added on and Lidl added on their vegetable deals, and they are 8 pence per bag. This is absolutely crazy. This is honestly the cheapest it's ever been. But we all know why they're doing this, guys, because they try to lure you in and hoping that you're going to spend a little bit more money with them. However, I'm one of these people, guys. I'm going to get what I need to get, and that's that. And then I'll do the rest of my shopping in the shop I choose. So the slight disadvantage, I shall say, probably that each of the supermarkets have the carrots, potatoes, and parsnips, but on the top of that, each of them have a different separate vegetables, which is a little bit sneaky. But again, unfortunately, or in fact, sorry, fortunately to me, those supermarkets are in pretty much close vicinity, so I can just pop in, nitpick, and get my bits and bobs. So just to let you know, guys, right, first of all, I popped into Asda, and to me, they are one of the best ones for the choice of vegetables because they actually include cauliflower, which is probably a staple for a Christmas dinner. So their potatoes, carrots, parsnips, and sprouts are all 8 pence. One thing to watch out for, is the size of Asda's carrots. Unfortunately, pretty much size of a French baguette, like a mini ones. It's crazy how huge they are. So be really careful. I do find those big carrots are quite woody in the middle. So again, I don't know whether it's going to be just my local one that had that or all of them. I don't know. But the big carrots I found quite woody. So just be careful of that. The next was the benefit in Lidl. Okay, they do this every year and I love them for it. They do the little shallots at 8 pence as well. None of the other supermarkets had any kind of onions this year, which is a bit of a bummer because last year I think Tesco's did the onions at 15p, and I again filled my boots, filled my dehydrator. But yes, to have the shallots at the Lidl, it's a great idea. Tesco's super duper veg, the separate veg, the different veg, it's actually a cabbage. And you can see this one's actually absolute monster. But of course, they do come in different shapes and sizes. And also forget to say, the Asda has sweets as well at 8 pence. For some reason, right, my chickens last week, I just bought one. I've no idea why I've done that. I've filled my boots with everything else, but I bought one. So I will be going back there to get some of those. So let's talk about the dates. The common thing I hear when I go in the supermarkets, people are wondering, oh my God, what's going to happen? Are they going to be okay till Christmas? They are vegetables, okay? When the Tesco's or whoever else put them out, they bring them out in the pallets. So far, every shop I've been, they are pallet load. So it makes no difference for you to buy them now, okay? Because they're still sitting in those pallets in the supermarket, okay? And they'll just be sitting there until Christmas. They're not bringing up extra fresh stock that's been grown recently. It is what it is. They have this in stock. It is going to be sitting there. To me, the advantage buy them as earlier, the better, because if you're thinking they're sitting there in a warm environment in the supermarket and the pallets are pretty much yay high, so anything at the bottom will be sitting there, will be sweating, and by the time you come to get it at the bottom of the pallet, chances are they won't be that fresh. So it is a good idea if you can and you have the space to go and get the vegetables in advance. You don't need to worry about keeping it for those few days. Another thing, people always look on the dates on the vegetables. And I think I mentioned this last year, and I heard this year. People like, oh my God, but what's the date on those carrots? They're going to be that could be, yeah, that's like in 2 days or 3 days, whatever. Like they might going to be running out. I'm just going to come back again, then get them later. Again, the same principle applies. It's the same stock, okay? It's not going to change. The dates are the same. They are what they are, and that's that. So don't be worried of buying them right now. So now, guys, let's have a look, or have a talk, in fact, about the storing your vegetables. Not all veg are stored the same way, and not all of them are going to really last you that very long time. But of course, the key staple is like potatoes and carrots and onions will last you quite a while. So if we start with the swede or turnip, unfortunately, they are what they are. They will sit in your fridge or in a cool room for probably about a week or so. After a little while, they start to get wrinkly, they just get dehydrated, they lose their moisture, but they still be safe to consume even at that stage, though not particularly appealing looking. So in terms of preservation for that, you can really dehydrate that, or you can make puree, freeze that, or at the same time you can cut it up into chunks or slices and put this in your freezer if that's what you really wanted to do. But otherwise, unfortunately, this is not really a long keeper, not in my experience anyway. Talking about broccoli, okay, well, broccoli, it's unfortunately, it is what it is. It is a given. Put this in the fridge, okay, it will sit there for probably about a week. It will start to go yellow, but the flowers start opening up. Obviously, it's, getting spoiled. There's not a lot you can do with that in terms of keeping that fresh for a very, very long time. However, okay, amongst making things like broccoli pesto, which I already shared on the channel, you can make a broccoli soup. You can also dehydrate broccoli, okay? Broccoli dehydrates extremely well, okay, but you do have to blanch this before dehydrating. Again, I've shared this on the videos before, guys, and you probably remember I've made a mixture of vegetables that you dehydrate for rices. So you can just add on a spoon at the end, okay, to make a flavored rice, and also I made a ready-made dehydrated rice meals for an emergency as well. Again, the whole idea with the broccoli, the smaller the items are, the quicker they dehydrate. But of course, you do guys have a limited usage of that when they are in the tiny pieces like that. So dehydrating something like in a little quarters, okay, have a look on the video, guys, how I cut them. It probably takes about 10 hours depending on your dehydrator. Things like this will dehydrate in 5 to 6 hours. So you can see it's quite a big difference. So next thing, let's go on with the potatoes. You got to love a potato, right? Everybody loves potatoes. Well, majority of the people. So potatoes come in the bag with the holes. The reason for that, the potatoes are not meant to be stored in a fridge. Okay, I've done a video on dehydrating the potatoes. They turn to sugar, okay, and then they don't dehydrate well and they become a little bit more mushy. I know it's a natural instinct to just put the vegetables in the fridge, but in the potato instance, you're better not. Ideal place for them, all right, and how I keep them if I bought few, banana box, okay, and put this either in a garage or a cool room. Honestly, in the bags, in a banana box, they will last you for a while. Some people tell me against that. Some people said that you can keep them and best to take them out of the bags. Well, I found, to be fair, so long as they're not sweating, okay, when I put them in initial box by themselves without the bag, they sprouted far, far quicker, okay? This is just my experience, guys. I'm sharing with you like you ask. So put them in a bag, in a banana box, or somewhere in a dark room, and you'll be fine. Another very, very, very good alternative, okay, it's shed. A couple of years back, I bought a lot of potatoes, and I've put them in a shed. It's cool, it's dark, make sure you have no window or windows covered in the shed, and they are in a sack type thing, okay, either paper one or Hassan sack, or one of those ones for the logs, the knitted type thing, okay. They're honestly, they'll work really, really well. I was actually surprised because at the end I actually forgot that I had some left in it, and I came back to them like months down the line, and they're okay, started to sprout a bit after a good 3 months though, but nonetheless it was absolutely fine. So again, find your dark place, put them in there, you'll be a-okay for probably another couple of months, okay. Again, if you wanted to push the boat further, dehydrating your potatoes, okay. Again, I've shared this video how to dehydrate potatoes. You can dehydrate them in circles or dehydrate them grated. I do both. They do extremely, extremely well, and with the oxygen absorber, guys, they will last pretty much indefinitely. So go and fill your boots. Next thing is sprouts, okay. This year they're rather large, which is also goes towards well, it's actually a benefit for us in terms of a storage. You're probably aware, if you ever had some leftover sprouts in a fridge, whether they're in a bag or they're loose, they last pretty much forever. They're one of those indestructible veg, because as you know, guys, if you grow them yourself, they could be outside. You leave them outside until you need to harvest them. But as they are, okay, in the bag, in the fridge, they'll be absolutely fine. You can take them out of the bag, they also be absolutely fine. And guess what, guys? You can also dehydrate sprouts like you can dehydrate cabbage. I have not got anything to show you in terms of dehydrated sprouts until later on today or tomorrow, but this is a dehydrated cabbage, works superbly well. Make sure again that you shred them and then you blanch them so everything will retain their flavor and nutritional value. Right, parsnips and carrots, they're pretty much the same in terms of the storage, okay? Again, see, this one is a bit wet, and this is really a no-go. They quite often start to rot right from the edge. Parsnips seem to be worse at that than carrots. So when you do store them, guys, I do put them in the fridge, open up the bag, and put paper towel in there, okay, just to absorb that moisture, because you don't want to have that water sitting on your parsnips because they will rot within days. Otherwise, with the proper storage, guys, they will sit in the fridge for a good few weeks. The same is applicable to a carrot. If you're looking at prolonged storage, okay, you can actually store those root vegetables in a box of sand. I've done this a few years back. I haven't unfortunately got the video, but it works, okay? You take a plastic tub, ideally black or dark one. You fill it with sand. You put a layer of sand, put a layer of carrots or parsnips, another layer on top, and you basically layer this until it's finished. You put the lid on top and you put this in a cool, dark place. In about a month or so, you might start seeing little roots, like tiny little hairline roots growing from from carrots or the parsnips. But it is a-okay. Those roots are fine. They're fine roots. It's just how the vegetable reacting to the sand. However, guys, honestly, as I said, I had them sitting in there, and they probably sat there for about 3 months until I've decided to consume them. So it's not ideal if you're looking for a huge, like 6 months to a year. It's, in my opinion, is not possible. Not from the ones that you buy from supermarket, but there is an option there, guys, to put them in a sandbox. This way you don't have to occupy the fridge, and at the same time, if your shed is rodent proof, you can also put that in the shed in the sandpaper as well. And yes, guys, carrots and parsnips dehydrate extremely, extremely well. The whole principle, the same principle applies. Grate them or slice them, make sure you blanch them, because again, blanching makes night and day in terms of the egg color and retaining the nutritional value. However, little bit left by the time we're done, or by the time they sat in the supermarket. But it's an emergency preparedness. It is absolutely perfect. I've dehydrated last year, I think 4 of 5 big, massive jars, pickled onions and jars of mixed vegetables. It works really well, guys. And again, with the oxygen absorber, they will sit there for absolute years. So next thing, right, well, shallots really, or onions. Again, I bought them last year and they sat in my fridge. For some reason, I put them in a 0 compartment in the spare fridge there. They sat there for, about 6 months, 7 months. Honestly, I've been finding an old one. There's like, okay, that did really, really well. Make sure though, okay, that you do pick them quite nice and plump, because I did pick 1 pack. I haven't checked properly. It was sprouting already, so make sure you check them out properly, make sure they're not manky, and put them away. I've just taken them out of the pack and put them in the fridge. But again, be honest, onions do not have to be stored in the fridge. Again, a box will do, do a-okay in a cool, dark place. I just found them, because they're little, they're not so, not so big like a big onions. I prefer to put them in the fridge, but you're also able to just keep them in the box. And guys, yeah, the next thing is obviously cabbage. As you can see, cabbage, and this is not red cabbage, green cabbage, but dehydrates extremely, extremely well. Normally cabbage, you probably know, will sit in the fridge for, oh my God, it doesn't even have to go in the fridge. It will sit there for a good couple of months, 2-3 months easy. Or you start to see, obviously the outer leaves are going to start growing a bit soft. Don't worry about that. When you come to use it, just peel them off and you're good to go. At the same time, if you want to make the best of that, you can make a sauerkraut. Again, I've done a video on how to make your own sauerkraut. Cabbage is a great contender, because obviously you create something different, something very nutritional, something very full of probiotics, especially now, guys, for the winter. It is absolute must. So if you never tried making a sauerkraut, have a look at the video, give it a go. It's very, very simple and it's not as scary as people make out to be. So as for making anything else, guys, it is pretty much all of those items can be frozen, okay? And all of those items could be made into the soups or stews. I know people that genuinely could pre-prepare those vegetables, cut them all in their little chunks and freeze them in batches for specific soups. Don't forget with the carrots, you can make a really nice carrot and coriander soup. You can make a parsnip soup. You know, it's honestly, guys, the world's your oyster. But I'm hoping, okay, that it gives you a little bit of kick up the bum to get up there, pick up some veg, and just think of your preparedness, okay? Because to be fair, this is a huge savings here, considering how much the potatoes are. You know, carrots are normally like 69p or 85p. You know, things are quite expensive, but comparing to the current prices, okay, those deals are absolutely unmissable. So if you have a dehydrator, go and get some have a look at some videos how to dehydrate certain things. Go and get some and dehydrate them. If you don't have a dehydrator and you have a freezer, go and just make a couple of bits there. You know, you can make, if you imagine for 15 pence, right, you can really make a good few portions, not 15 pence, 8 pence, sorry. You can make a really, really few portions of nice soup and put them in the freezer. So that's that, guys. I'm going to stop talking before I lose my voice. Hopefully that was really, really helpful. Don't forget, please, thumbs up, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.